At some point, most of us hit a moment where we look at the mirror or at our phone screens or at our life we've built, and something feels off. Not exactly broken, just not right. Like you're wearing someone else's clothes and it feels like everyone is saying around you that they fit perfectly. And that feeling has a name and it's older than you think. We've built infinite content. We have different identities to try on, and we have different communities to belong to. Yet, there is the question of who am I really? It's harder to answer than ever. And today I'm sitting down with Miracle to talk about and have a conversation about our true self. Welcome, Miracle.
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I feel good and fine.
Great.
I'm always fine. Yeah.
So I would like to talk us and to raise really an important point of what does it mean, self?
That's a very nice question, self. But talking about self, I believe a lot of amazing people have defined self in different concepts because I believe truth is told in perspective and it depends on the aspect of self. For me, I think I would define self from a human standpoint because from the psychological standpoint, I believe maybe or the real general definition of self could be one's own self, something like one's own person. Sorry. So let's say, but if one own person is the definition of self, I think that could raise a question for me immediately because I would ask, who then defines the person? Okay, now because we all think that a self is something you construct or something you discover from yourself. But from my journey so far, I think I would like to disagree a bit on that because I didn't create myself, so I cannot bring out myself. So I have to return to my creator to discover myself. So I was made by something.
Okay.
So for me to get the ultimate answer to myself, I need to return back to the creator. That's the only way you can define the concept self objectively. But any other definition, I think is not absolute, I would say.
So what you're saying, there is an ancient saying, and please correct me if I'm going wrong here, that knows thyself, right? Because before we came up with the term self-awareness, we will go to that. So know thyself, as I mentioned, it's an ancient saying. Is it something that we can link right now to know it's one's own person?
Okay, that's very good. So know thyself, just like the gospel said. So we have to refer to where it's coming from because I love to go by context. So know thyself, man, know thyself. So like I said, so the question of who am I has two dimensions. So I think that's the place we have to start from. So identity, so the question of identity has two dimensions. Let me paraphrase. One is the psychological identity. So this could come from, okay, you could say I'm anxious. I lost confidence after I lost my job or after a layoff, things like that. And then they have this, and on this psychological part, only psychologists could answer this. And they have this other dimension called ontological identity, which is the real human concept of real identity. Why do I exist? Why am I here? Who am I? For the real question of who am I? And only ontology can answer this. Psychology does not have the tools to answer this. So psychology could answer the human mind, but they cannot answer why we exist. So these are two different. So when we are talking about the question of identity and who am I. So
Right.
I have to lean in fully to ontology because that's really what I'm interested in. I have a broad knowledge on psychology, but I prefer not to speak on that because I'm not a trained psychologist, so I respect the field so much, so I don't want to trespass. But ontology, I've spent so much time on philosophy and theology, so I could speak on that. So talking about who am I? That's the question of identity. And you can never discover who you are if you don't return to the one who made you.
Beautiful. Okay.
For example, everyone on earth was created for a purpose.
Right.
And that's the truth. For you to know your purpose, you have to go back to who made you. That's the only way you could answer your purpose.
Okay.
For example, your iPhone was made for a purpose.
Sure.
Right? Okay, good. You don't know the producer's mind before he made the iPhone.
Right.
Okay, good. This is why when you bought your iPhone, you have the manual. If you should open the pack of the phone, before you see your phone, you see the manual. So the manual is the idea and the mindset of the creator. So this is the purpose. This is how to use it. This is do not do this. Do not do this. Do this. Charge 24 hours before use. Don't do this. Don't put inside the water and all these things.
Just to clarify, it's just a metaphorically speaking, right? For people who will be watching us, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Let me bring, so this is actually the bridge to my next question. So you really touched the point of identity and the purpose. And there is a very famous, and especially in corporate world as well, it's in leadership, yes, and about the self-awareness. So can we define what does it mean, self-awareness, before we will jump and talk about that?
I think self-awareness is just simply knowing your emotions, your thoughts, and your feelings. I think, and secondly, for you to be very self-aware, you have to, I think, firstly, I would say know your emotions.
Good.
One, I think know your patterns, know your triggers.
Okay.
And lastly, I would say know your blind spot. So in the fourth one, know your blind spot. If you could know that there are things you cannot see, that's self-awareness. And secondly, on the emotional part, like know your emotions. Let's say, for example, you're angry.
Yeah.
I know you're angry, fine. You say you're angry, but the question should be why could this make me angry?
Right. What was the trigger, right?
Yeah, what was the trigger? Like,
that emotion.
Why such a thing? That way you could know. Then talking about the concept of knowing your patterns. So for example, you get hot and then you how would I put it? You disengage yourself from the person just because you feel a sense of hurt. You have to also treat that and pay attention to how you handle these things and triggers. Maybe let's say you're in a conversation and you get dismissed,
right?
Or you weren't listening to, or you got criticized and you become defensive. Why are you becoming defensive? Not everything should fall into your opinion and ideas. You don't have control over anything. Live freely.
Right.
So self-awareness is understanding your emotions, your thoughts, how you feel, and how you respond to it. Before you respond to an event, take a break and understand what's happening. Not everything you jump into.
If we could, let's say, summarize, in order that someone can recognize his or her own self-awareness, or whether I'm self-aware or not. So what shall we do? So what shall we bear in mind, or what shall we learn? So you said questioning, yes, ask myself, right? Why am I reacting that way? Can it be a big point that in order to raise my self-awareness?
I think people should I think we should define our own strategy ourselves.
To create our own strategy.
What works for me does not work for the other person, because I have a very different way of living, and I have a very strict way of making decisions. And most times I have rules and regulations to live my life. And
can you share with us?
Okay, for example, I don't really live on emotions, so it's very difficult for me to be reactive on things. So I apply this analogy. First of all, I try to discern what's happening around me. Then secondly, I use logic, reason to understand, okay, what again, how do I go about this? And emotion comes last. I think these are the three levels of perception: discernment, reason, and emotion. So I don't flip it, because when I flip it, then I lose myself. So this is how I tackle things and situations. So I cannot tell someone how to create self-awareness. Just observe yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Right. Okay, if I am to tell someone how to create self-awareness, tell yourself the truth. Stop lying to yourself. Right. Just be honest to yourself. If you feel an event hurt you, understand why. And if it's something you could ask for an explanation, you could proceed. Right. But ask it from a place of knowing, curiosity, not because you want to own the event, like to have control over everything. So for me, emotions come last in everything I do. So I cannot tell someone else to live that way, because I have another way I live. But if you want to be self-aware, tell yourself the truth.
So this is like your strategy. It sounds like you're a more rational person. So you because you mentioned logic. Yeah, you use your logic. If something happens, you pause, you reflect. Yeah, is that correct?
Yeah.
So you use your rational part, like prefrontal cortex.
Yes. Because if I have to apply reason in my decision making, I understand things that are not in my control. So I cannot lose my mind over decisions that are not in my control. So I'm only focused on things that are in my control. So let's say I ask you for this water and you say no to me. I cannot get angry. That's the last thing I'll so acceptance and rejection is one for me. For me, I don't know for anyone. So if I ask for this, you say no or you say yes, I receive it the same way. I don't have any other, because I know the things I have control over, and I know that what I'm asking for, it's not in my control. So why should I expect a yes or a no? So I'm just open to any response, and that's just it.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing. So if I can sum up here, so based on what you said, so in order for you to become really self-aware, or you are self-aware, is first of all to really know and understand. So what is my circle of control? So basically, in other words, what can I control, what I can't?
Control,
and then you mentioned admit and acknowledge that point, and observe yourself. So it means that I have to take really kind of a pause. So I have to really love that moment of silence. Can I say that? Right. And that's how you build the pattern or mental muscle of towards, I would say, self-awareness. Is that correct?
Yeah, but the most important thing is just tell yourself the truth. I think I'm very honest to myself more than anything.
Tell yourself the truth. That's the main message.
Just tell yourself the truth, and understand the things that are in your control and the things that are not in your control. You don't have control over someone's decision making or someone's emotions or feeling. So if you get a yes, something happened that made the other person say yes to you. If you still get a no, something happened. They are not in your control. So why are you losing your mind?
So you mentioned like a very interesting point, like lose yourself. And I would love to really ask for your opinion. So why do people lose themselves?
We all lose ourselves for different reasons. So there is nothing specific why we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves every day. And different reasons applies to this. So there is no objective reason why people lose themselves. So people lose themselves based on the scenario and circumstance. So it's
for example, what could be the circumstance that people could start losing themselves, and without even recognizing at the beginning that, oh, I'm actually losing myself, because it doesn't come naturally, maybe sometimes for some people. that they could recognize immediately. Oh, I'm losing myself. Maybe that's like aftermath effect.
Okay. So I love to go in context. Like I said, losing yourself depends on the scenario. So someone, for example, let me make a layoff could happen. You could then you're among the people who are being laid off. It could make you question yourself because among, let's say, 300 workers, among the people that were sent off, and maybe you're very good in your job, and it could make you lose yourself. Someone could lose a loved one to death. Grief could make you lose yourself. So there are a lot of reasons someone could lose themselves. So I don't really have what to tell people who lose themselves, but the truth is, if you lose yourself, it's okay. Take your time and just get back to track. That's just it.
So take your time and get back on track.
Yeah, it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel hot. You have feelings. You have emotions. It's okay. It's okay to cry. That, it's okay to do anything. Yeah, it's okay.
Right. I actually love that you said I love the context. So basically, if I change the context, I could change my perspectives, the way I feel, the way I reflect on my self-awareness.
No, you don't change the context of what happened to you. That's you lying to yourself. What are you running away from? Something happened. What are you changing the context for? This is what happened. I didn't get what I want. Okay, I invested, but I crashed. It's okay. Understand that it happens. You don't succeed in everything you do. And just feel the pain at that moment and then tap yourself and go again for the next one. We all fail, but the problem is that you don't stay there when you fail. You there's this idea from the gospel says the righteous man shall fall 7 times and he shall rise 7 times. That's the concept behind that is that failure is certain, but definitely you will get back to your feet. So if you fall into calamity or you fall into life circumstance, just know that you will definitely bounce back. Just keep your heads high and do the right thing.
And to me, it's interesting that what you're saying, I want to really get back to what you had mentioned. Yeah, be honest with yourself, because whatever circumstances we could face, and we could face different situations, and we always have to admit, or acknowledge. First, it's acknowledgement. Yeah, it's a very, I would say, fundamental point here. I want us to talk a little bit about, you've mentioned today the word identity, and it's beautiful yet profound term. Yeah, so, and speaking about nowadays, let's say social media ask us to brand ourselves, or do you think that process helps people find their identity, or it just create a more elaborate mask?
Okay, like I said earlier, so I think now I would have the time to explain right.
Go ahead.
The concept of identity cannot be answered in any other way. Real human identity, ontological identity. The only way you could answer it is by returning back to the one who made you. So, if if man was made by the image of God, then God is the creator. And for you to answer any identity, only Christ can give you such. So identity is what is revealed. It's revealed to you. It's inside, but you have to go to your creator to reveal it for you. So social media cannot create any identity for you. I think the real idea of social media is for people who are talented to show off their work and show their skills. I think that's the real idea. Show things and do things. Creators, they put out their contents and put out their videos, and they could go far and do other things. But when you talk about identity, it's a very strong idea because, like I said, only for example, the one who made the cameras has the real purpose of the camera. So the question of identity is the question of, like, who am I? And the only person who could tell you who you are is Christ, who is the creator of yourself. So that was why he in the gospel, Christ says, okay, I'm trying to paraphrase on this concept. He said, "Thank you, Heavenly Father, for you have hidden this wisdom from the wise and the learned, and you have revealed it to little children." Then he calls out, "Now, come unto me, all ye that labor and carry heavy laden. I will give you rest." So the one calling is rest. So the one calling is the creator. So he's calling his creature to come. So carrying heavy laden means burden. So it could mean purposelessness. It could mean grief. It could mean anything. So it's an open call to everyone. So come, I will give you rest. So that's why in Genesis, God created man. So that's creation gives existence. Then in Matthew, God calls man to give rest. So that means calling gives purpose. So if you're struggling with the question of who am I, the real human question of who am I, you have to return. I accept any belief, and it's okay to have any belief system. But the truth is, if Christ was the creator of man and Christ is calling again to come and receive rest. So if you are struggling with the question of identity, who am I, you must first return to your creator. So let me give you an analogy. If you buy a television and you open the television, there's a manual. The manual, like I said, is the idea of the creator. That's the purpose. This is why I made this television. And if you go further in reading it, they expect you to read it. Maybe most of us don't read the manual. We just because maybe we think we know how to operate the television. But if you go further, it comes with a guarantee. It says, if anything should happen, bring it to us or an authorized expert. So maybe they have offices somewhere who could fix this. So do you know why they are asking you to bring it back to them? You think it's about us? No, it's about the image of the company. Okay. So it's about their personal image. So the brand's image. Same way, if we were created by Christ, Christ has an image to protect. So if you want your real purpose to be revealed, you have to go back to your creator. That's the only way to answer an identity question.
It's interesting. You mentioned you have to go back to your creator. How can one go back to his creator?
That's a very good one. How can one go back to the creator? So it depends on what the person believes. For people who believe in Christ, because believing and knowing is different. You can only know the finite Christ, but you can only encounter and believe the infinite Christ. Okay, so, which is God. So for people who want to return to their creator, you have to study the scripture and you see everything written about you. And then you build relationship. You have to build relationship with the one that created you.
Where shall I read this description?
You have to read the Bible and read the gospel. Then you understand how the one who created you lived and walked. Then from there, I think that's the first step. Study the scripture and understand things for yourself, not what they taught you in church. Study to show yourself approved. It's a personal journey. Discover things yourself. Then study, and when approaching to know, come as a little child. Let the little children come unto me. So, because if you approach with pride and thinking you know, you wouldn't know anything and nothing would be revealed to you. So this is why they said the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. So the fear there is naivety. So you must approach with a little sense of fear to be taught. So by studying the scripture, by opening your heart to know, definitely you will have your personal encounter, and from there things could start for you. That's the only way, because your identity could only be revealed. We all have a purpose. Everyone on earth was created for a purpose. That's the truth.
Right.
So for you to know your purpose, only your creator can reveal your purpose to you.
I want to really maybe bridge that, because we've mentioned as well, and that you've mentioned that you have to go and read the description and create your own belief system, right?
You don't create any belief system. Christ already did everything. Just
So
follow the way of
follow.
Christ.
Okay, so you follow.
Yeah, follow
Okay.
me.
Follow me. Good.
That's all.
What do you think? How much of who you are comes from your family, your culture, your generation, things you never actually chose?
Not everything. Family, culture, they give us stories, but they don't define who we are.
And how can I distinguish that? Oh, actually, I can. It's not always me. This is my culture, let's say my family, the society I grew up in. So it's not always me. How can I come to this point that I have to, it's like awareness, awakening maybe.
Okay.
How can one reach that moment that actually there is something more? And where my family, my culture, my language, for example, is not all. Yes, it's a part of me, but there is something more. So how can one really start seeing maybe into that direction? Not necessarily become, but start seeing into that there are other paths undiscovered maybe, or maybe yet to be discovered.
Okay. I think the only way to do that is to, first of all, seek knowledge, seek wisdom first. And the second way is be open to unlearn, relearn, and learn.
Oh, I love it. Learn. Can we repeat that? Learn.
Unlearn. No, you have to first unlearn everything.
Unlearn everything. Okay.
Relearn.
Relearn.
Unlearn.
And
learn.
And learn.
And learn. So, first of all, when you're growing, you should pay attention to things, the evolution happening around you. So you could see things, maybe the way you think back home is not the right way to think. And it's okay, because that's the environment you grew up in.
And this is self-awareness.
Yeah, that's self-awareness. So now you have known, okay, this is the way we think back home.
Right.
This is not the way it's being taught here.
Right.
So what do? You have to weigh the both ideology and understand, why do these people think this way? Why do I think this way? And first, when you come to that truth, you understand these other people think better than we do. So it's not a game of pride. You could gradually unlearn the old pattern of thinking and relearn this new thinking and learn. It does not mean you're despising where you're coming from. No, it's growth. It's knowledge. It's wisdom. And that's how you learn. And like I said, the family and all this, they give us story. They don't give us the identity. Because, okay, let's say you came from, I don't know, for example, how would I put this? Okay, I don't like to use the word trauma because
let's paraphrase the word.
I don't
circumstances. Can we say that?
I don't believe in those things. Okay.
You don't believe in trauma. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's know that he doesn't believe in traumas. Okay.
Let's say you came from bad situations.
Okay.
And you're living in the bad situations, but you've understood or grown into the idea that this was a bad situation. Maybe the people who brought you inside the situation didn't know. They didn't know much.
How to behave, how to deal with that situation they faced.
Instead of still being in that mentality, why don't you forgive the people who brought you in the situation and grow so that that kind of situation won't come from you again? Yeah.
So it's all about changing the perspectives.
Okay. For example,
in order
I'm
to
from
forgive,
Nigeria. So I came from Nigeria. Good. I moved to Europe. I've unlearned a lot of things and I've learned new things. So I was able to do these things because I'm standing from a different ground and I could look. So now I said, okay, these were the ideas I had. Okay, right now I don't believe them because the teachers were teaching maybe from the level of their knowledge, or maybe from pride, or maybe from lack of understanding. And I have sojourned and I realized, okay, I've understood it. I've understood this better. Now I have to dismiss their knowledge out of respect, not disrespecting it.
Sure.
I respect them. I love them.
So can we say it's like relearning or unlearning you?
Now I've unlearned what they taught me. So I'm relearning and I'm learning. So I now know this is the right path.
Okay.
Not because they are older than me means they know everything. No, they make mistakes. So now I have understood that they have wrong ideas on some things. And now maybe I have a better idea. I love you so much, but I'm not sticking with this idea anymore. So this is the new idea. This is where I stand with. But it doesn't make me to criticize you. But if you also see the light, you could come over here and I could take you also on this new idea journey. But I'm not sticking here with you anymore. But this is not the right way. So let's say conversation comes out from the person who is still here and I'm here. I could share light and say, look, this is not the right way to think or the right way to live. This is the right way. But when you're still in an environment, you're clouded with that sense of reasoning. Till you come out, you cannot see what's happening.
It sounds like you really adapted or cultivated, if I might say, that growth mindset.
I've always had the growth mindset right from when I was little. I don't believe in smallness. Yeah.
And what can you...
And I'm very open in learning. I'm very, very, very open in learning. I don't have pride towards knowledge and wisdom. Even a little child can teach me. I don't mind. I could ask anybody for knowledge to teach me something I don't know. So that's the most important thing. If you want to have access to knowledge and wisdom, don't be rigid. Be open. Ask questions. That's the easiest way to learn. Ask questions. Yeah.
I'm curious, looking back, maybe you can share, was there a moment where falling maybe apart, maybe it's a strong word, a strong expression, actually built you? Or, a particular circumstances actually made you stronger or built you?
I think moving to Europe, I would say. Yeah, because I was thinking it would be very easy until I arrived. And I arrived in Italy. Bureaucracy and immigration issues. Like, if you could survive immigration issues in Italy, you've built strength. So yeah, I think migration made me stronger, I would say. Yeah.
So actually, there was a moment that actually built you stronger.
Yeah, migration. Learning new language, ways of thinking,
meeting new
people. So yeah, I would say moving to Italy.
I would like to mention this lovely quote that the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Do you feel like you are there yet?
No, I'm still unfolding. I'm not there yet. So there is no there.
It's not there.
There is no there. I'll keep being on my prime till that. There's no there.
So what's your purpose then?
My purpose?
Yeah.
My purpose is to transform myself, and when people see me, they get transformed as well. Organizations can be transformed, people will be transformed, but the main goal is to first of all transform myself. And when you become the light, everyone can see you. The light cannot be hidden. When it's shining, everyone, like when the stars are shining, people from different parts of the place could see it.
I love this metaphorical description.
So the goal, the purpose is to transform, because I know when I transform myself fully, when I come in contact with people, organizations, and all that, they will be transformed by me as well.
So that you can bring even more to specific organizations.
So I come with the light, yeah.
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 And you mentioned the word become or becoming. Is there a version of yourself you're afraid of becoming?
Okay, that's a very good question. We all have fears. That's the truth. But I don't let fear control me because every single person on earth has fears.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of failing.
Okay.
But I'm afraid of becoming who I was never created to be. Like I said, we were all created to have a purpose. We have a purpose. So if I don't live towards my purpose and I don't finish my work, then yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, not becoming the person I was created to be. That's the only thing I'm afraid of.
Very wise. Yeah. And if you could send a message, let's say to a person who is searching for his or her true self, what's the piece of advice or a suggestion that you might give to that person?
Someone who is searching for his true self.
Yeah.
Like I still say, I have to know where the person is searching from, psychologically or ontologically. It depends. Psychologically, if you're ill, go to the psychologist.
Good advice. Go to the psychologist. Don't hesitate. Yes.
If you're ill. But ontologically, go to Christ. That's the only way.
Imagine there is me. Okay. All right, so it's me right now sitting in front of you, and I'm asking you to cast a light and tell me or suggest me, give a piece of advice. How can I really be my true self or find my true self? I lost myself. That's what we have discussed earlier. So what shall I do in order to really find myself?
It depends on what you lost yourself towards. So I cannot just, like I said, it depends on the dimension you lost yourself. If you lack purpose, I could direct you back to the giver, your creator, who gives purpose. But if you lack, let's say, maybe your self-worth after something bad happened, then point. I could maybe talk as a friend and give you ideas. But yeah, it depends on it depends on the context, because I love to be on context. It depends on the context the person is asking from. If the person is asking me, why do I exist? I don't even know where I'm going, my purpose. I move you towards your creator because he's the one calling. Come unto me, I give you rest. So it could be, I give you purpose. I take away grief. I take away your lack of intelligence. And my yoke is easy. It's light. So it means I have a purpose for you. And when you carry it, things become easy. But if the person went through a breakup or something, or lost a job and still doesn't know themselves, I could give a normal friendship advice. So it's based on context. Yeah. So I cannot just say this is an objective way for you to, if you're struggling.
One size doesn't fit all.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you don't answer such. You have to be careful when you say things like that.
If one day you see God, what question would you ask?
No man can see God.
Imagine.
No man can see God. You can only encounter his presence. I encounter, God speaks to me. He's the still voice who speaks to everybody. He speaks to everybody. So he speaks to everybody. He's the still voice. He speaks to
Is he speaking to you?
He speaks to me every time.
Every time.
So I think that's one thing about myself. I listen. I listen. So when the still voice talks, I listen. So yeah, I've never been proud to the voice. I just listen and I do what it says. It speaks to everyone. But the problem is that we've clouded ourselves with noise and pride. That's why some of us don't hear him, but he's speaking to everybody.
Pride, can I say it's ego?
Yeah, pride, ego. You think you know, but you don't know anything. I've studied men 1,600 years ago, intellectual men who have result and success, but towards the end of their life, they realized they didn't know anything. Yeah, so.
It's a big point. So know thyself. We are coming back to this.
St. Augustine said he was looking for God everywhere. He wrote books. He read books. He did everything. But he didn't know Christ was closer than he thought. So that's why I said he's speaking to everybody. So if you could stay calm and search, seek, you shall find, knock, you shall. Okay, it says, seek, ye shall find, knock, it shall open, ask, it shall be given. So the concept there is keep seeking, keep asking, and keep knocking, but you must do it diligently. And you must do it attaining the state of a child, not being childish, being childlike.
Childlike.
Yeah, that's the only way. You must come as a child. I don't know.
So it means like being open.
Yes. Forget about all the things you know. Forget about all the ideas. I don't believe humans know as much as they think they know.
Okay.
I don't think so. No, we don't know anything.
So what can you say to our listeners? So what maybe a piece of advice you can give to our listeners who watch you or would love to know you? So what could you give them? Or sum up that what we've just said. What is the main point, pivotal point for you that you would like to share?
If you're struggling with purpose,
yeah,
on the ontological aspect by existential questions, the only place you can get it is towards Christ, because that's the only way you could answer such question. But if psychological issues, you're ill and you've lost something in yourself, you go to a psychologist and tell yourself the truth. That's the highest form of self-awareness. Like I wrote the last time on my Instagram page, introspection is a very powerful tool. Learn to use it. Analyze yourself, audit yourself, understand what's happening. Don't be a tyrant to yourself, but just
be gentle to yourself.
Just do it nicely and then see how it goes. But always tell yourself the truth. That's the highest form. That's the best thing I could say.
Tell yourself the truth. Be honest with yourself.
If you don't want something, know why you don't want it. And it should be the truth. If you want something, know why you want it. It should also be on the truth. Just don't lie to yourself. Because the more you lie yourself, the more you don't know yourself.
Right. Oh, I love it. Yeah. The more you lie yourself.
To yourself, you don't know yourself. Because you're deceiving yourself. But you might think you're deceiving the other person. You're deceiving. You don't even know your values anymore. You know. But if you keep telling yourself the truth, it builds this steez, you know. You have to work with steez, because you know what you said and you know you can do what you say. You don't question anything.
Thank you, Miracle. Thank you for such a lovely conversation about our true self.
Thank you.
And the privilege of a lifetime to become of who you truly are. Carl Jung. Not who your parents wanted you to be, not what the algorithm rewards, not the version of yourself that you can easily tell at the dinner's party. By yourself, just you, whatever it takes to find you. And if this episode means something to you, share it with one person, that one who really needs to hear it now and reflect. And share with us in a comment where are you at right now. And in the meantime, flow and stay focused.